Hi.
Hi, friend.
Welcome to Track Girl Summer. I am Natasha Hastings. This is my co host, the Kori Carter, and we are bringing the culture to track and field.
Trap girl summer. Trap girl summer. I
Follow.
wasn't late this time.
Huh?
I wasn't late this time.
No, you were right on cue. I was a little nervous, but you got it. Follow me, Natasha Hastings, Twitter, IG, Facebook, YouTube. Follow the Kori Monster, Twitter, IG, YouTube. Most importantly, follow Track Girl Summer, trackgirlsummer.com, but also subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Twitter, IG. Make sure you get that merch. Get you a trucker hat or t-shirt. Trackgirlsummer.com. Yes. We are coming to you with the content. I'm gonna stop saying days because we just coming with the tea, the shenanigans, your favorite athletes, the culture. So let's get into it.
Also, don't forget if you get your shirt, get your t-shirt, make sure you post it so we can feature you guys on our stories or on Fit Check. I don't know yet, but we want to see how you guys are rocking your merch. But yeah, let's get into the Fit Check.
That's
You
what
want to
I
go first?
trying to do it off of memory and not reading the script. Yeah, I'll go first because look, I'm just giving y'all like
She said the pink abominable snowman.
it's cold in my apartment. I'm tired, so I wanted to feel cozy. So I pulled out, if you don't know, pink is my favorite color. So I pulled out this little faux fur.
Come
No,
on, Pastel Yeti.
no animals were harmed in this production. And yeah, we're just cozying up because we're gonna have a nice little. Well, I shouldn't say cozy. I don't know how cozy the chat is gonna be, but you know, she's feeling cozy.
Well, we're wearing blue today, and Kovu, Scott, Kovu, put your hat on. Kovu said he's got his little visor.
Kovu, I feel you.
And I'm gonna take it off him because he's so over it. Um, I got these little pants and like a little, a little set. If I was gonna put my shoes on, these are the shoes that I'd rock with them. But you know why I like these pants, Natasha?
Why, Kori?
Because first of all, they're tearaways.
I knew.
Second of all, they're zip offs. So like you're at recess and you can just take the leg off. And now they're shorts. Like
I didn't know Track Girl Summer turned into a striptease. Hold on.
Elementary school, Kori, because it's cold in the classroom, and so you need your pants. But then when you go out to recess, it's time to ball. Get the shorts. Get the shorts. So that's all I have to say.
Welcome to Track Girl Summer, where we bring the shenanigans. Kori is full of them today.
Like, you don't understand. Like, tell me I was
Kori, you just gave us a whole little striptease.
It wasn't a striptease. It's like, you do your warm up and then you strip down and you're race ready.
I feel like that was the prelude to your OnlyFans.
Look, I'm race ready, okay? When they say come out ready to run, she's ready. But let's bring on our guest who is a fan favorite and my favorite, okay? She's a UCLA grad, but a USC assistant coach. She is a 2004 Olympic gold medalist in the 100 hurdles, 1999 NCAA champion in the 400 hurdles, 1996 Gatorade Athlete of the Year, 2003 Pan Am champ, 400 hurdler, coach to some of your favorites, and we're gonna get into that. But one of my mentors, one of my favorites, I get on her nerves, Joanna Hayes.
I wasn't ready. Hold on. Welcome to Track Girl Summer. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Kori, I enjoyed the strip show.
But
not recess. Don't say recess. Not recess.
Trying to
That's
tell
not the recess.
you.
Coming
Kids
from the
cannot.
mom who has
Yeah.
kids on the
Yeah.
recess
Don't.
playground.
Do you want me to
Don't
get
have
a pair for
kids
Allie
stripping
and
at
Zoe?
school. No, because I'm not. I don't want the school calling me like your kids are stripping. Auntie Kori.
You
No.
you guys didn't have the pants. So it was like it went from jeans to capris to shorts.
I don't know what you're talking
Y'all weren't
about,
about
but
that
I do know
life.
my kids wear uniforms. Thank God, so I'm good. Then we will never have the strip tease of Zoe and Allie at their school because they will be in uniforms, and so I'm good. The rest of them kids, I don't know what they're gonna do, but don't listen to Kori.
That's advice that you can take into any arena of life. Don't listen to Kori.
How are you guys doing? I'm so happy to be on here with you guys, with you ladies.
We are excited to have you. Thanks for joining us. Fresh from Tokyo, but your amazing story in itself. I mean, hopefully we can get into all the things.
Yeah, I wear my Tokyo shirt. See,
yes,
this is my
that's. I purposely said that so that you could show.
Yeah, so I could show my shirt. I forgot. I was gonna show it, and I got lost in the whole striptease. So I was like, oh, I forgot.
I was just literally modeling the versatility of my outfit, but it's fine.
No, it's great.
Let's get into what's really important. Yes. Joe, how did you start hurdling?
Oh yeah, so I started running when I was young. I did like the long jump, the 100, the typical like stuff that you just do. I think I ran the 200 once, but I just ran the 100 long jump, and then I got to high school, kind of did my little national teams. I did standing broad jump at Hershey Nationals, and then I did like the running long jump at like the Arco Jesse Owens Nationals. So that was fun. And then I was, on to high school with it. And then in my junior year, I was at one school, Arlington High School, and my mom met a coach. We were down at UCR training. She would take me to train. My mom's so dedicated. So we were out there working out, and she met this coach named Charles Leathers. And he happened to be a coach at North High School. They were just talking and stuff. And he was like, oh, you should bring her to North, whatever. My mom was like, well, we would love to, but we were very loyal. We're very loyal people. So we had a coach that got me to the state meet, and we just were like, oh, cannot leave. Like, he's the best. Like, we would never do that to Coach Jones. And he was great. And you know what? God works things out. Timing happens, because within like a couple months, Coach Jones took a job somewhere else. So I wasn't Coach Hayes then. So Joanna Hayes went to North. And so we went to North. My mom, you can't just transfer school. So we had to like literally move our house. Like we moved, not our house, but we moved homes from one end of Riverside to the other. And it was crazy. And I got to this coach, and they had I was at this point long jumping and triple jumping. So they had got new pits runways for me. Everything was all set out. I did them and everything. But it was like January. We're like, I'm going to try the hurdles. And I tried them. And I just kind of was good at them. And it just clicked.
Your junior year in high school?
Yeah. I've been channeling you guys.
Junior year. And the first meet, I guess, was a few months later. So I started in January. And the first meet, I fell. And I got this huge scar. I mean, I slid in the dirt, because back then, ran on dirt. And I slid through the finish line. Because it was a prelim, and it was out here in Burbank High School. And I was like warming up, and I didn't get what this guy was talking about, but he was like, I ran the prelim, and I was 3-stepping, whatever. That's what I did. I didn't know anything different. He was like, you're the girl that's 3-stepping. I was like, cool, I don't know what you mean. But then I realized everybody else was 4-stepping and 5-stepping, and then it made sense.
5-stepping?
Listen, people were learning.
So you were ahead of your time. That's basically what she's telling us. I started later on. I was also ahead of my time.
No, okay. 3-step, just not in this track meet, I guess. But I fell through the line. I won. I fell through the line, big old gash, and I was out for 3 weeks, and it was just infected. It was just the worst. I just was like, this sucks. 3 weeks later, I had borrowed someone's shoes for that. And I'll get to that part why it's important that I borrowed shoes for that race. I fell down. 3 weeks later, I was back on the track. I got to compete. Hurdle 2, I hit it. Fell down again. So that I hit, the girl next to me hit, and she hit her hurdle. And when her hurdle was coming down, like I was coming down and her hurdle was coming up, and it got me in my chin. I got a scar down here. So I'm like,
that's why you have that scar.
You see it it's under here somewhere. So it's under there. I don't know which. I think it's on this side. So it hit me, and I'm like, oh crap. And it was just, I finished the race because I could. So I ran and finished, and blood all over the place. I went and got stitches, had some blue stitches. My school colors were blue and gold. So I was also in somebody else's shoes in that race. And I said, well, first things first, what we're going to do is not ever one of nobody else's shoes for the rest of my life, and I never have. Like, I was borrowing shoes for whatever reason. I think I forgot one time, so I was like, the shoes are bad luck. Wear your own shoes. And then after that, I was just good. And there was one point, it was like, you keep on doing this, and I figured, I have to keep running hurdles because I have these scars now. My scars have to have a story. They have to matter. I just don't want to have scars. So now I have a story behind my scars. I did finish and won the Olympics. But yeah, I started my junior year. I was third at the state meet in the short hurdles, messed up the longs. I was triple jumping and long jumping. It was a mess. And then my senior year, I just started to decide. We decided to just do hurdles, and I won and undefeated in the longs and in the shorts. It was fun. It was good. Got me a scholarship, which is all that really mattered in the end. That was most important. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been happening. So yeah, that was my quick, short year and a half high school story of hurdling. And I had a great coach. He was great.
Hurdlers, as for as much work we put into our legs, we could never be a leg model because we got some scars and bruises and cuts and scrapes all over.
We need to have like a hurdle scar convention, and like everybody bring all their scar stories. I mean,
I have a dip in one of my fins.
It's but definitely not the leg models. No.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
And so you win NCAAs in the 400, and then you go pro in the 100 hurdles. How? Because I'm trying to figure that out for myself.
Well, and both of you will appreciate this story because you've both at some point been coached by Bobby. So Bobby was, we did both. I did both the hurdles, and that was great. I did both through college and lots of injuries and whatnot. So I won NCs. And 1999, when I won NCs and I went to World Championships in the 400 hurdles, we picked one. I picked those. 2003, I did both because I was like, I kept being like, I just want to run the 100 hurdles. I literally hate the 400 hurdles. I love training for them. I love that aspect. I love to work hard, and I love to be like, yeah, Bobby, bring something else for me because I would run through all your workouts, literally, right? I love that part, but I hated competing. So 2003, I did both at nationals, and I made the team in the 400 hurdles, but then I didn't make it in the ones, and I was like, mad. I didn't like that. So I still trained for both because Bobby said I needed to do both for 2004. And so come June, like Bobby made me mad, right? So I was just already irritated with running both, and I just wanted to run the ones. So we had this, me and Nicole Haynes, we had to go to training camp in St. Louis. Nicole Haynes and I missed the flight. Okay, it was really not our fault. It was a whole lot of traffic out in LA, okay? Bobby was heated. We were on the phone in Vegas. We were in Vegas on a layover. He was going off, and I was like, yeah, okay. So now I'm mad. We're all mad. We get there, train, whatever. Bobby brought us into the office, and he was going off on me. I was like, okay, always me. I'm always getting gone off. He went off on me. We going back and forth. And so I was like, you ain't my dad. You're not about to just keep talking to me like this. And, we went in. And I said, and at the end of the whole heated conversation, I was like, and I'm not running the 400 hurdles. I'm just running the 100 hurdles. And that was that. And that's how I did it. I was done with them. I ran the ones and I won. I was like, I told you.
That you have to. You have to. And now you had to win the gold medal. You had no other choice.
I had to let it, it just was going, I'm done.
No, but after hearing that and then hearing Gail, it seems like Bobby wants you to challenge him. Like, why didn't I know this? Because
I think he does. It's like he wants you to be like, I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna just cuss you out until you tell me to stop.
He wants to see you got a backbone.
I was like, sir. Yeah.
So that's literally how you went from doing both to doing the 100 hurdles.
I love Bobby
to then
so
going on to win the gold that summer. Like,
yeah.
You cussed Bobby out. Why didn't anybody?
I
wonder how many times Allison has cussed Bobby out.
She hasn't. I don't think any of us have actually cursed Bobby.
Well, not cursed him out literally, but
said. I think Allison has gone. I believe there's been a few semi-heated conversations. I believe so because Allison be like, I'm having a meeting with Bobby. I'm like, okay. I'm having a meeting. You having a meeting with Bobby? Cool. See, I never had meetings with Bobby. Bobby would yell at me, and I'd be like, whatever. So the meeting I had with Bobby was Bobby's meeting with me, turned into me telling Bobby,
right,
we'll run this no more, sir. Yeah, but Allison will be like, I'm gonna talk to Bobby. So, like, okay, let me know how that goes. Mm-hmm. But I think Bobby, he respects us. He respects the challenge. He respects us, the backbone. And if we know it, and then also, we have to know what we want. And if we say what we want to do, we got to do it though. Like if we're going to tell him we're doing this, it needs to work. Because after that, if it don't work, he can be like, well, we're going back to what I said, right? And then you be like, dang, forever and ever Bobby going to say something to me. Like, haha, didn't I tell you? You know, so I think you have to be ready. When you come for Bobby, you got to be ready and you got to back it up, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's how it went down.
Well, that brings me to my next question, because I watch this race at least once a year. And it is because that start that you had in the 2004 Olympics, right, was so disgusting. Like, Perdita almost broke her leg trying to go with you. Because if you watch this race, Joe is gone from the gun. And Perdita thought that she tried to leave for the hurdle too soon because she was trying to go with Joe, and she got a lead leg full of hurdle.
So stupid. Not a lead leg full of hurdle.
Did I lie?
Listen.
I took out another girl with her.
Joanna's like, look, I'm cool with Perdita. I'm not.
I respect her too. No, but that start is one of the most disgusting starts I've never seen someone take someone else out their race like that. And it's beautiful to watch.
I mean, I think in a different way. Yes, I think that the way you said it makes sense, but the way I'm gonna say it is like yes. But I mean, hurdling, right? When and Perdita and I hadn't really raced before, right? So I don't think she knew that I was gonna start like that, right? So it probably did. She probably was like, oh, I gotta hurry up. And in hurdles, it's a game of competing, but patiently. Like you have to be ready for your hurdle before you try to get out of the air and all those things. So I think with the rest of the Olympic Games, we're all going. I went, she went. It's just she went a little too soon as far as what we saw. We don't know for sure what was in her head. And then she hit it, and I'm glad she went right, not left, because then she would have taken me out. But it was a mess. But I'll tell you, that start, all year, I was getting really fast. Like I was like, Bobby, I want to run some 40s. Like I want to run. So I was out there running 40s. I was racing some of the football players. Like I was legit really, really fast. And so my start, I was floating off the first. I was getting too close to it and I couldn't snap down. I was just coming down too far. So me and Bobby were like, all right, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And he was like, just move the blocks back. Because some people will go to 7. You know, you make all these changes. Bobby was like, pick up the block, just move it back. We moved it back. And if you look at the race close, you zoom in, I was this far off the line because I had to have running room. I didn't get up in there because if I did, I wouldn't come down like that. So the start.
And you still got half a step in front of the whole field?
This is what I'm trying to get. I was waiting for a moment to say that. Like, hold on.
Wait, so you're telling me you won the 103 and the 101 meters?
Yeah, maybe 101 meter, yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look at it. And it's funny because you can ask Nia too. So Ryan Wilson, a few years, but when Nia won the first world championships indoor, the same thing was happening to her. And I was talking to Ryan, we were just going back and forth, and I was like, Ryan, let me tell you what I did. And he did the same thing, world champ.
So what I'm because the first thing my mind went to was you ran a longer race than everybody else. So when Bobby tells you, move your blocks back, like, what is it? First of all, did y'all try that at the Olympics? Did you do that?
No. We trained it. We did it in practice one day.
Okay. Because I was getting ready to say, like, Parchman came on last week and said he's changed up his race at the games to win. Twice. And so I'm listening and I'm like, Bobby tells me to run extra. And maybe my mind is just programmed to 400. I'm like, absolutely not.
Right.
But so I don't take me through that of like, okay, we're going to try that out. And it was like, was it like the first time that you did it? It was like, boom, that's it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it really was kind of like that. Like, oh, this feels so much better. Right. So all I did was give myself running room. So it didn't really matter where I was starting from because my takeoff point was where it needed to be. So if my takeoff point is too close, now I'm landing too far. I can't get that leg down because I'm floating off. Now I'm landing too far. Now I'm gonna get too close to the next one. So my whole race is going to be messed up, right? So I'll take them inches back here
So you can
who cares about them things, right? Because now I'm in the position to take off. So really, for me, my race started at my takeoff of the 100-meter hurdles, which again, to your point, Kori, was so fast. That's why it was so fast. I was moving because I
because
just
you don't
honestly
have to
was
worry
fast.
about.
Yeah, I just was fast, and
To
It's
that
kind
was
be
of
the
like
clear,
it's kind of like like a long jump, or it's like you're playing with inches, making sure
correct.
that when I land, I hit the board. And you were like, when
Yep,
I just need to hit this takeoff spot, doesn't matter where I start from, but my foot needs to
correct.
be here to propel me into the hurdle so my touchdown spot's gonna be in the right place. That
Correct.
makes sense. But gosh, Bobby is an evil genius. I've been telling y'all this.
to be clear, you won the 2004 Olympic Games in 12:37, which was the Olympic record at the time. So,
Yeah.
folks, don't try this at home.
Don't try this at
She's
home.
the real one. This only applies if you carry in some crazy speed.
Yeah, you gotta have the right speed. It has to
Yeah.
make sense, and it has to be done with the coach. That makes sense.
Honestly, if Bobby Kersey don't tell you to do it, don't do it.
Well, listen, I told Anna at Pac-12 this year, we were messing with her first hurdle. We're trying first two hurdles. Like she was run up on two. It's just been a whole situation for her for a while.
Been there.
We tried a few things. I said, Anna, okay, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try that. This is what we're gonna do. We've been training for 3 weeks. We trained a certain way. And then the day the prelims went, and I was like, she didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm like, slept on it. I called her the next morning at like 11. She ran at like 1 or 2. I said, Anna, this is what we're gonna do. Changed everything. Changed the blocks. Changed the leg we used for the first and everything. She went out, killed it, PR'd. But you only do those things when, again, you have trust with the coach and the athlete. And I knew that Anna could do it. We just went back to her old start, but she hadn't done it in 3 weeks. She didn't have a warm up with it because we didn't have a track to warm up on. It was first to put the blocks down. When the gun went off, she did it. But because she just trusted the process, she knew she could do it. And we went and it worked. So again, it's the relationship you build and the trust you build with the coach and athlete to say, okay, we're going to do something crazy and you got to believe it's going to work. And you do that. And I think that's important for me as an athlete and as a coach. Now as a coach, obviously that's all I'm doing. But I want to make sure that if they trust you, they'll do it. But then if they trust you, you make sure you tell them what the right thing to do. You know, after.
So that's a perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a perfect lead in to like, how did coaching find you? Did you know that you would want to transition from being an athlete to coaching? Flo said that he kind of did it simultaneously, and that's how he found it. What was that like for you? Because I mean, now you're out here working with some heavy hitters.
And I would like to also ask you to throw in like how much Bobby has influenced you as a coach.
Okay. Well, for me, I think I've always been a coach. I remember in high school, because I mean, my senior year, I was killing the game. I was just like, and I say this in the humblest way possible, but
I say this in the humblest way possible. I was better than everyone by far. Like to the point where I could give out advice because I knew that they couldn't touch me.
Right, but I mean that's how. So in the warm up, there was sometimes I would be helping my competitors do better. Like, oh, I want to do this with the trail leg. You might fall. Like, I was literally concerned about some of their hurdling, so I wanted them to not fall. I wanted them to do well. I mean, again, I knew they couldn't beat me, right? So there's no harm in me helping, right? So
maybe you could get a little closer.
Well, yeah, but maybe you can get a PR. Like again, so for me, that's kind of how I always knew I wanted people to do well. So I was always a coach, right? You coach your competitors. But it one time I messed around in 2005, messed around with Bridget Foster, and I was like, we were warming up, and the 2005 World Championships, it was raining, it was a mess, and Bridget fell in the warm up.
Oh yeah, 2005 was messy.
It was. I hated 2000. Yeah, 2005 can just be just erased from the record books for me anyway. But she fell, and she was like a friend of mine, and I'm, again, my instincts kicked in, and I walked up to her, and I was like, and I pointed at her forehead, and I tapped her. I was like, focus, right? Refocus. Then she beat me in the damn semis. So I say that to say, you can be a coach, but just know when to coach and when not. But you know what?
You didn't have yourself in the head and say focus.
I was like, focus, girl. I'm like, focus. She refocused and whooped on me. So I was like, this ain't high school no more. Stop telling me this ain't high school. She could beat you.
I would beat you too if you came up to me in my warm-up and tapped me in my forehead.
Hey, but it worked. It worked.
I didn't even know that I was expecting the story to go that way.
And then Bridget medaled, right? I fell. So it works out. It was meant, I was going to fall regardless. So I helped my friend get a medal. That's how I see it. So, but no, I was like, girl, shut up. What is wrong with you? Why would you tell her to focus? Let her fall again. But, so I mean, I guess, so I say that, it's always just kind of been in me. I want to help people. I want people to do great. And so it was naturally there. So when I retired, started coaching at Harvard Westlake High School. When I tell you that Johnny Gray, me, Felix Sanchez, and Quincy Watts were all on the same staff, you'll be like, that's not true. But then you just look it up. But yes, it was all four of us.
I've been, because they have Lucinda now, and I'm like, how does Harvard Westlake?
It goes from one to the other. We transfer out Olympian for Olympian. I was there, so Felix was there for like almost 20 years coaching. I was there from 2008 to like 2013 before I went to UCLA. Quincy was there longer. Johnny was there. Johnny left before I left, but we all were there together for a couple of years, and it was great. That's where I got my start. Quincy and I thought we tried to coach some youth kids. That didn't work out well for us, so we let that go after 1 year. That was awful.
No.
Can I interject as to, maybe you didn't help the Harvard Westlake kids like you did, but you did help one particular athlete?
You did help them. Who? Oh, you?
I'm saying one particular athlete really appreciated your coaching.
So yes, Kori. Well, Kori. So Kori was like, Kori got sick. Kori had mono, right? Kori, was that what you had? What'd you have?
I have mono. Yeah.
Mono. I don't know if you want to tell people. I mean, people have mono. People get it. You were sick for like a long time.
She's already announced it on here. It's
okay.
We know.
Okay, so I wasn't sure. So Kori had mono, and we were at with the CIF finals, right? Or Masters.
I think it was Masters.
Yeah, and so Kori was getting still sick, right? But like kind of weak, passing out all over the place, right? So her dad was like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, all right, what's up? He was like, so I love old Mr. Carter.
Oh, where is this
going? I don't think he was too happy with my answer, because he wanted me. So Kori was sick. He didn't want her to run. He didn't want her to basically die. He thought
I was gonna like pass out and hit a hurdle and like, I don't know, something dramatic. And I was like, that is probably the
race. She might pass out after. So I was like, at this point, let her run. I was like, because she's either gonna run and qualify or she's gonna pass out. But like, she can't run again at this point. Like, so I told him, let her run. Go ahead.
Let me tell you what, she came up to me. First she told my dad, I'll talk to her. And she comes up to me and you go,
I forgot it.
If it was me, I'd run it till the wheels fall off. And my dad was planning to steal my spike so I could run, and I was like that was gonna stop me, Dad. I'll run in flat. And you went up to him and was like, she's running, leave her alone. And I was like, no one could ever tell my dad anything about me. And I was like, thank you. Joe is the reason why I was able to defend my titles at state, because you
went on doing everything
to make it a state. But she was like, I'll ride to the wheels fall off. I kept that in my heart for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that.
I mean, at that point, why not?
I think because you were coaching at Harvard Westlake, and I think I saw you at like Arcadia.
Yeah.
And you had no idea who I was, but I went up to you and I was like, hi, I'm Kori. I love you. And from then on, I was like, Joe's going to be in my life. And you were there in high school. Then you started coaching in college, and I would see you.
She has stalked me for a lot of years.
Like, I can see you in my mind at Washington, and I would come up to you before some of my races, and you would help me then. And then I went pro, and you helped me decide to go pro early. Like, you were one of the only people I talked through that process. You were the one who talked me to go to Bobby. You were there when we were with Bobby. Like, you've been there.
I sent you to West too, huh?
You got me to West. You told me to go back to. You helped me when I said I was going to go back to flow. You're like the only one of the person I talked to. Like, Joe, you've always been a mentor at every single step in my track career. You have helped guide me, and I have to say thank you, because I know for a fact I would not be where I am if it wasn't for your guidance.
Oh, well, thank you. I think you would have done it anyway, but you're welcome for whatever.
No, because I want to have won that state meet for sure.
But you still would have went to Stanford, everything. But I know it was a great double. You got to repeat, and it was good. And I think, again, so don't try this at home, kids. If you're sick, talk to a medical professional. But
Please don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. This was, This is a long time ago when we did things like this and we didn't care about life. Now we care about your life. Don't run.
But it's like, what is life if you're not winning, Joe? Like,
right? I mean, what is no, if you're not first, you're last. We don't do this unless you're winning. All we do is win, Kori. But again, people, talk to your medical professionals. Do not run if you are sick. If you pass out, you would not say that Joanna Hayes told you to run, because I did not. I only told Kori Carter to run, and I had her parents' permission at that point, kind of.
But I feel like I'm not the only person that you have had a hand in their success, and like I'm gonna speak on behalf of a lot of people right now, but I feel like Allison, Dawn, Jenny, like we've all, Sydney, Rye, like we've all had your hand in our career. And I feel like we look up to you as a mentor, and some of you directly coach. But I feel like, I don't know, like maybe because you said you've always been a coach, but there's something about you, like when it comes to Joe, if you're looking for someone to be in your corner, get Joe in your corner, because she's gonna like give you it real and in a loving way. But you always, I feel like, are able to like, look here, let me tell you what's actually going on and how to get your life together. I'm like, thank you. Like,
well, and I think, I balance. I try to have a balance where you want to coach people, you want to love people up, you want to let them know you care, because I think you take things better from someone that actually you believe actually cares about you. And I do, on and off the track. I care about the people that are my friends, that I coach, that I work with, that I mentor, and whatever capacity that I come in your life, I actually care. So for me, I show that. And everybody takes things differently. Kori, you're tougher than some people. I can say certain things to you that I can't say to other people, right? And you have to know your personnel and who you're dealing with, because you can break somebody by saying the wrong things, right? And so again, I can say, Kori, shut up, go over there, run this thing. I don't want to hear about it, right? I'm about to tell somebody else, okay, listen, so there's the hurdle, and what I need you to do is go over it, okay? And now, when you do that, and it's a delivery, right? And I think so everyone is who they are. And I think with Allison, obviously I didn't coach Allison. When Bobby didn't come, I got the time there. I mean, I get to hang out and do, get your arms going out, fun like that. But Allison was my friend. But when she came, she was so young.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, Allison, it was kind of a mentorship that grew into a friendship, because Allison is someone who you look at her and you're like, this is the go. I mean, she's done it all. But she was a kid, and she had so much respect for me and because she got the silver and I got the gold. I'm like, you were 18, I was grown. But anyway, she was always like, wow, you won. Like, she thought that was just like the greatest thing, excuse me, because that's what she always wanted to do. And so she had so much respect for me and for what I did. So I was able to kind of tell her certain things, and she would listen to certain things. And a lot of it, she grew on her own. She had her family. She has a great system. So I think everybody needs certain people in their lives to help them in different aspects. So again, with Jenny, with you, with Dawn, everybody. I mean, I was with Bobby for so long. So from like 95, when I got 95 in high school, to I came back in around 2012. All those people came in as a baby with Jackie and Gail and all those guys. Then I went to the next group, my direct peers, my group, and then it was you guys, right? So I've been through all the training groups with Tasha, with Pam, with Muna came out, and Karan, Clement. It was just so many. Felix was there for like 5 minutes, right? It was all of these different people. And to Allison, who was
not 5 minutes, not the sprinkle of shade.
Give or take 5, give or take a minute or two, right? It was crazy, but so I just feel like I've been able to be mentored, and then to mentor, right? And then that propelled me into coaching. And again, what I can coach at UCLA or USC, and even the athletes that I did not coach, I would be like, you can, if you need to talk, or they'll send them to me. The women, this and that. We talk about things that are not even track related sometimes. So I'm a people person, and I'm an athlete person, and I love helping where I can. And I don't help to get thank yous. I help because if I can, I do, right? If I'm capable, I will. If I'm not, I want somebody else to help you that can, because I can't help everybody, because it ain't always for me, right? And so I just want people to just do what's best for them, and wherever I can help, whatever part I can play in people's lives to help them is, for me, that's thanks enough to see that, okay, that worked. Whether I get a thank you from them or not, I know that something that I did or said helped. I'm good with that. And I can keep helping other people, knowing that what I'm doing is actually working.
Yeah.
Well, you actually gonna get a thank you from me, because
clearly, Kori, you know what?
Thank you from me, Kori, too.
Thank you, guys. I think like Kori is like, she's so extra.
Yes.
Tasha, you be doing this for her all the time, but it's like it's a good extra. Like, I feel like if you don't directly have Kori Carter in your life, get you a Kori Carter, right? Because if you get you one, you're gonna always be hyped up. You're gonna always know like you
She's
got
gonna hype
something,
you up for sure.
for sure. You'll be like, yeah, girl, take out that trash. Oh yeah, I love how you placed it on the curb, girl. Tie your shoe. Look how you tied your shoe. You are killing life, girl. You are killing life, right? Like
No,
that's
I
you
just
know
honestly
you would.
think that
I
God
love it.
keeps putting like amazing people in my life. And so it's really not me. I just am surrounded by greatness. It's not my fault. I gotta speak on it. But I would love to talk more about you as your coach and kind of your coaching philosophy, especially being a woman in coaching, because I feel like there is definitely a need for more of them, and you're at one of the best athletic programs, and then it hurts me to say
You can't
that.
say you heard to say you can't say it. USC, right on, baby.
I'm definitely not saying it.
I know Natasha ain't saying it. She's the other SC. I already know
I
y'all.
really hope my dad
I'm
doesn't watch this
original
episode.
SC. Original SC.
See, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this all we're gonna let that go out. We're gonna just move back on to us. We're gonna put the schools out.
But yeah, I think I would love to hear more about just. I feel like you had a hand with Sydney's start, which she had like. It's so hard to make that transition to being a professional athlete, and especially as young as Sydney was. And I feel like we saw you help her really navigate this, competing overseas, and then you see Rye doing so amazing. Um, Anna making this team and then just making it all the way to the Olympic finals. Like I think you have a really good, what's the word? I'm like, you're great at harnessing young talent but your talent goes out there and they compete like veterans. And I think it has a lot to do with like they have a coach that's been through it and is able to be like, this is how it goes. Because you and I have been like, I've seen you at meets and you've been like, look, Kori, we're gonna get it together. um
Yeah, I think. Well, first I can say too. I will say that I've worked with Quincy a lot, right? Coach Watts, and then also Carol Smith Gilbert. We're at USC, so we did a lot of work together.
mhm.
So I would say that I've had great people, great coaches in my life as well that we work together to help to navigate these young people. I think as far as like Sydney goes with that was a hard year, right? It was a different year because none of us, not one coach had ever had a championship in October. So automatically we're navigating something new, new chartered weather is like, what is happening? There's no blueprint for a world championship in October, right? So for me, I had to go to October and go back and say, okay, she's going to be literally every time she goes somewhere, it's going to be brand new. There would never be her saying, oh, I've been here before, I've done this before. Every single time, right? So I had to keep that in mind. So when we went to Oslo's and Zurich's and all these places, I knew this was her first time. And so for her, she's just so talented. She's going to run well, keep her in shape, do all those things. She's going to compete well. So it was more of a mental thing, making sure she understood like the process where you're as good as them. And I told her a long time ago, when you got to be confident when you figure out that you're as good as Dalila, come on, like you're going to go back and forth for a while, right? That's who she is. Dalila is a pro, the pro of all pros, the Olympic champ. She was, she's 10 years older. She's been doing this, and Dalila worked her way up. She's 10 years older than Sydney. Grown, right? And she worked. She wasn't this phenom who came, running that fast early. She had to literally chip away. She got, not making teams, silver, moving up the ranks. And so Dee was not going to be like, I'm going to let this little girl come beat me. I already knew we were up against, right? And at the end of the day, it worked out. She broke the world record, which coming into the year. Didn't work out for the win, but what are you going to do? It wasn't like you got beat by a random person, Okay, all right. Sorry, I have a visitor. A little person. You're not a visitor. I know you're not a visitor. Just kidding. But you just got home from school. But so it was a great year to be able to just be a part of that, to be a part of a rookie season, right? To say I can go back because I've been a rookie before. I can go back to remember all the things that I went through and all the track meets and things like that. So with her, that was the one thing. It was me and her kind of on my own with her, right? It was just me and her. Okay, you guys.
Hi, Zoe and Allie.
She say hi. That's Natasha and Kori. That's Kori. You remember that? I don't know if you remember. Natasha.
You know
were
me.
little. It's been a while. Okay.
We hung out in Monaco in 2019. They remember
Kori
me.
Carter?
Yeah.
Oh. Kori Carter, the car.
The Kori monster. Okay.
Look at our phonetics. Come on.
Right, go. Close the door.
I brought you cake, Mommy.
Thank you. Close the door. Go.
I brought you candy.
Okay, close the door.
Mom life.
Okay.
Yes,
Cake
Tasha's
and
coming.
candy.
When he gets to walking and talking and going to school, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
lock it. And wait, the door was locked. I purposely locked the door. I was like, they'll be coming home soon. I'm gonna lock the door. That's what I deal with, ladies. But anyway, and so, and but it was. But with Anna, I'd known Anna forever. I recruited her to UCLA. She went to USC. Boom. Next thing I know, I'm at USC with her, and that worked out. And then I had the year off, but then I came back and volunteered last year, and I think that was fun for us to be able to, Quincy was like in charge of the 400 hurdlers. So it was like Carol mainly was working with the ones. I helped her there with the 400 hurdles. He was like, you go with them. So I was just me with them. We did fitness stuff together, and then sent them over to me, and we worked on patterns. And that's something I love. I love the race patterns and trying to figure out what works for people, because I hated running the race, but I love to coach it. And someone like Rye, who is Rye, I mean, you guys have seen this freaking nature, that his gifts are a blessing and a curse, right? Because in a 400, Tosh, you could just be fast and run, and that's all good. Faster you are, the better you are, right?
Right.
For 400 hurdles, you too fast, you run up on them things, it doesn't work out so well, right? You have a barrier in your way. And Rye is that guy. He'll split 43 all day. Well, you transferring 43 speeds to 400 hurdles is not as easy as it would seem or it sounds. So we have to work on his pattern, getting in between those hurdles and navigating them. And we did a really good job this year of doing it. And then, you get to the games and you just run as fast as you can. And he ran up on a couple. And he ran 46-17. My God. Yes.
Is that why he seems so relaxed when he gets out? Because he's trying to
Slow down.
make sure he don't run up on hurdles?
Because he cannot. Can someone close my door? He can. So if you take a Karsten, right? Karsten, he just goes as fast as he can until he runs out of gas, which apparently is never. But Rye, if Rye goes as fast as he can, he'll never get a chance to run out of gas because he's going to fall.
Yeah.
Right? He can't just run all out. So the inseams for Karsten and Rye are different. Rye's way up here. He's long. He cannot open up his stride. Karsten is not as long on his lower half. He can open up his stride and just run. Doesn't his no? It's like the hurdles on. He came back 2 weeks later and ran a 445. He ran the same time he's ran the hurdles. Rye split 43 seconds. So that's the difference. So Rye is actually working a whole lot harder than anybody else in that race because he has to be careful not to run too fast, trying to navigate. So we have to use his speed without using his speed. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, but that makes sense. And you had to use your speed, but move your blocks back. It makes the hurdles add a level. I always say hurdles are track and field. It's like we're racing, but it's very, very technical what we're doing.
Yeah.
You just
and someone like him is then so we can put the X's and O's. And Quincy can say, we're gonna run all these run. I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna put these hurdles in. There's X's and O's. That's great. Black and white. Cool. Hit these numbers. But mentally, you have to talk to him and he has to understand he is a student of his race. He has learned so much because of the things he has to deal with. So when talking to him, he is highly intelligent and he acts silly and crazy and he's annoying as hell. I will tell him that every day, but he's highly intelligent, which is sometimes that's the annoying part. I'm like, shut up, bro. I don't want to talk to you right now. But so he has this high IQ. And so he can understand how to do things and he will do them to a T. But there's still the race element. He's still, and so when the adrenaline flows, it's hard to control the speed. So, but what he did is exactly what he was supposed to do. And with a training partner, you just hit those times and he goes and he does it in the race. And so that's why, when you see the whole silver medal and he was disappointed, it's hard to get a silver running that fast. Like, geez.
No, I get it.
So
But
speaking of that though, as a coach, I mean Corey and I watched Tokyo, and I think all of us watching, one of the things that like we were so excited for or curious about is just looking at the sprints as a whole and just seeing from the 100 up to the 400 hurdles. Where is track and field going? Like how much faster can Rye really go? How much faster can Sydney and Dalila go? Is Elaine going to get the world record? Like Mboma in the 200,
Track is going to the astro plane. Like
it
it's
took
going out of this
49
world.
seconds to make the 400 final. If you ran 50 point, you were not in that final.
yeah.
Like what is as a coach going out to recruit and preparing your athletes,
Yeah.
where do you
I
see
mean,
it still going?
yeah, it's a new it's all brand new. Like and I think it happens over time and always every decade or so it starts to we get more and more, we get better tracks, we get better facilities of training, we get better supplements, and where people are learning more, we're learning about what to eat and all these things. People are getting better. And again, so one person gets better, someone else gets better. Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
So again, with the Dalila and the Sydney, with the Rye and the Carson, with hell, I mean, with Shelly Ann was like, "Ha, I'm coming back like gangbusters," and that's why Elaine was like, "Ha, okay, do that, but guess what I'm gonna do?" Right? So you have to have somebody else running fast. And I think Sha'Carri helped them with talking a lot too. That when people's like, "Oh, for real? Okay, we got to go," right? So I think you take all those elements of people and whatever motivates people, there's something that's happening around them to make them work harder, train harder. And again, yes, the tracks are faster. And people will say that a lot. You'll get a lot of old school people saying, "Shoot, the track was that fast when I was running. I'd have ran this time," right? So, and so, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, me personally, no. But I think there's all those elements. So yeah, I think track and field is gonna go to a different plane. Look, Kevin Young ran 46.78 in 1992, right? Look how long it took to break that world record.
No,
And
it
look
did.
what happened to the world record. It wasn't like we ran 46.6, right? That thing is shattered. It took 25 years or whatever, and it's obliterated. So now it's not. So I saw some people saying, "Oh, they're never gonna run this fast again." This is why? Why wouldn't a 24? These guys are 24 and 25. Why wouldn't they run any faster?
Yeah.
How come they can't?
Sure.
Like, why can't they? So people don't think Rye can run 45 seconds? Please miss me with that, because Rye will run 45 seconds. Record day when it comes around, you guys play that back. Okay. And he can go faster. But what it's gonna, and here's the thing, to your point, Tasha, what it's gonna take as a coach, it's gonna take me knowing and me Watts knowing Rye's limits and Rye's skills, and say, okay, we know he can do this. How can he do this again and again in practice without getting him hurt? How can we make sure he's doing the right thing? So, Rye, you have to eat right. You have to do all these things. If we're going to take your body to this planet, you have to prepare it or it won't work. And that's the only way. But I know what the man can do because I see him every day.
Mm-hmm.
And now with Sydney and Dalila, I trained Sydney. I know I was playing with Sydney. I had her running a little faster on my calculations this year. But 51.4, that wasn't a shock. 51.8 for Dalila, that wasn't a shock, except kind of because Dalila's getting older and Dalila, like, I don't give a crap what y'all talking. I'm gonna run out
And
here
had COVID twice.
Right. See, and that's the other thing. She had COVID and she had a messed up hamstring. So when you think about what she went through and then came back around 51.5, do we not think she can go faster? Why not? Right. So now that's the coach's job to say, okay, what's her skill set? What's her limitations? Where's she weak? Where can I find? How can I make her better?
Yeah.
And that's the fine tuning thing. So I had to sit back and I already listened. When that race was over, I was like, me and Quincy we were shook, like, oh my gosh. But my mind immediately, when I walked out that stadium, I was already calculating how I'm going to get those touchdowns down to under 45.5. Immediate calculation. I don't have time and the luxury of not planning that out right away, because I know what Carson's coach is doing. So we just got to stay ahead of the game, because it's going where it's going. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
My poor.
This is why I said, if you want someone on your team, have Joe on your team. Like, the way you talked about Ryan was just like, I know what he can do. And like, I need a coach that believes in me like the way Joe believes me, and then is also going to do the work to get me to where she knows I can go. Like,
right.
That is what I'm telling you, this is what you should look for in your coaches, guys. People who care, people who care and know what they're doing. What is it that Bobby says? Those that
know why can beat those that know how. I say it all the time. That's one of the sayings that I took from Bobby, because and Rye knows why. And that makes it easier to coach him, except when he's complaining. But but he
You
knows
gotta throw a little complaint in there every now and again.
but he'll do it, right? But again, if you cuz how can you want to be a world record holder if you don't know why you're doing something? If you don't know the ins and outs of it? Why? How? What? You're just gonna go out there and just do it, and then what? Right? How do you don't know what really it takes to do that? I need you to know why I'm telling you this. If I say I need you to come through here, I need you not to be like, no, why? Why do I? That's no. If you want to know why, let's talk about it. I'm gonna explain to you why. Because guess what? If you don't come through the 150 here, you can't come through the 300 here. You ain't gonna run that there. So hurdle 1, 2, breaking down. I break it down by hurdles. We don't just get out there and be like, all right, let's go over 9 hurdles and see what happens. No, I gotta get you through hurdle 1 where I want you comfortably before I can get you to hurdle 2. Because then if I take you to hurdle 2, but you ain't hit hurdle 1 time, how you gonna hit the right time for hurdle 2? This ain't no just guessing game, right? So it takes a lot of time and patience to do these things. So again, that's why I love coaching. I love breaking things down. And once again, if your athlete trusts you, you will be successful and you will go far. If they don't trust you, you shouldn't be their coach. And so for me, I'm glad that I have athletes who will say, okay, I got you, coach. Because guess what? If it don't work, cool. Bobby say this too. If I'm dumb enough to make a mistake, I'm smart enough to make a correction. Right? So let me make my mistake, because if you listen to me and it don't work, I will fix it. But if you never listen to me, we'll never get to where we're trying to go, because I'm going to keep pushing my agenda on you. And if you don't give it to me, I'll never know that it don't work. And so once again, the trust factor. So I enjoy it. I'm happy that I'm able to coach collegiates and elite athletes, because they're so different. But the collegiates that want to be pro, they get to get a glimpse of it and they get to see how it goes. So when they get there, they're ready already. They ain't got to get ready, right? They've seen it and they know it, and their coach knows it. The coaches know it.
When you're recruiting athletes, what is it that you look for in an athlete? What are the characteristics that you say? Because I feel like you've coached great athletes, you've been around exceptional athletes, you are a legend in our sport. Like, what are you looking for as an athlete, and like, what do you think it takes to like make it to that next level?
I don't know about a legend, but I appreciate you. But now, for me, when I'm,
You're legend, my legend.
Well, I'll be your legend, Kori.
Don't talk about my friend like that. She's a legend.
Let me stay focused. So obviously, as coaches, we all recruit fast athletes, right? The coaches don't be like, I'm gonna get the slowest athlete I can find, right? So if we're talking to athletes, we already know you're fast. So for me specifically, I want to coach athletes who have the mentality, the go-getter mentality, the athletes who want to win, the athletes who want to race people who are better than them, who want to get better by racing people who are faster, right? I want the ones that want to be a leader. I want the ones that want to lead by example. A whole lot of that's not necessary. You don't got to tell me a whole lot. Just do it, right? I want the ones that really love the sport and that know who the athletes in the sport are. Because again, those in the why can beat those in the how. Do you know who came before you? Do you know the records that you're trying to break? Do you know the people who broke them? You know what they did to get there? Why are you trying to run this fast? Right? What's the point? And what if you ran this fast here? How do you know you can run that fast there? I just want them to just love the sport, and then I want them to be smart, like studious smart. Everybody ain't smart, but everybody can open a book and read. And I need you to want to do that, because I can't I can't coach you if you can't graduate, right? So as an elite coach, whatever. But as a collegiate coach, we need you to graduate. But again, going back to Rye, I always go back to Rye. But he reads a lot of other books. He reads about different things in the world, right? Again, he's smart. So you don't have to be track 24/7 either. I don't want that, because if you can't do anything else but run, that's going to get old at some point. You're going to go crazy. I need you to be a well-rounded individual. I need you to have something else to do, because when track isn't going your way, you got to have an outlet. I don't need you crying to me because track ain't. Well, what else can you do? Nothing? Dang, that sucks for you. You got nothing else?
I told you, don't be keeping it so real.
I'm just saying, you gotta have something. Yo, we've seen, and you guys know, we've seen people who run. How long are you gonna run? Like, at some point, it's going to end at some point, especially if, like, okay, well, you ain't got, so you have no contract, you ain't make zero team, you don't have you have nothing, but you going to, there's got to be something else. That's why we get degrees, right? That's why we do stuff like you're doing. That's why we do.
All it takes is this, and your hamstring's gone. Like, it don't take nothing for your career to be over today.
Right. So have backup plans, have things to do. I mean, and I'm looking at, and one thing I will say that I love right now is the Allisons and the Natashas and the Shelly-Anns and the Quineras, all you guys with these babies and running. I love it because it does show that women don't have to be like, like panic about this stuff, right? This is like, track is not life. Track is a part of life. So when you have kids, that's because you want to be a mom too. You can do all those things. So if you want to be a mom and an athlete, or you want to have this job and be an athlete, if you can balance it, you should do it. And that's why I think in sports, people get so wrapped up in just that sport. My God, you got to have some kind of outlet, something else to say, you know what? I had a bad day. That's okay. I got this too. Because it will swallow you up if you don't have another outlet.
Up and spit you right
so, yeah, it spits you right out because it doesn't care.
It don't care, because track and field does not care about you.
Huh?
Track and field does not care about you.
No, it doesn't. It's not a person. It's a thing. It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't have a soul. It gives less than a crap. It's just a thing that we do. Do your best at it, and that has to be enough at some point. But that's why in 2003 and 2004, when I came back, I took a little hiatus, and I said, if I come back, then I am going to do everything right, because I can't say every year, well, next year I'm gonna do this. Well, if I would have done that, next year I'm gonna be 45 years old talking about next year I ain't gonna have no job and I ain't gonna win no raises. I ain't gonna get no raises because I'm old, right? So I gave it everything I had and it worked. But guess what? If it didn't work, then I would have said, I gave it everything I had and it wasn't for me. That's okay, because I did 100% of what I had. But if I'd have been like, well, next year I'm gonna do this. No, forget next year. I told myself, you don't have next year. You only have this year. And girl, if you make this team, I'll let you run for 4 more years. That's what I told myself. So, and that's what I did. And so again, that has to be our mentality of like, I'll just wait till next year to do better. Why not do better now?
Oh, that was a word. Are you preaching?
I feel So you kind of went into the next question or the last question that we wanted to ask you, which is about motherhood and about like taking a little bit of a break and then deciding to come back, and then now seeing like the culture was a lot different, obviously, when you decided to take a break, start your family, come back. I shouldn't say it was different. I think now we're starting to see the change. Because there is still the stigma, but I think we have the likes of Allison leading the charge and, using her voice and platform to say, hey, we're not just athletes. We're moms, we're wives. We do all the things. Right. Tell us a little bit about what making that decision was like and taking that break and coming back and giving it your all, as you said, and giving motherhood your all, because I know taking 2 babies to Monaco is not easy.
Yeah, that Monaco trip. Woo. Listen,
I see the thrillers.
What'd you say?
I see the TikToks and the thrillers with the kids.
Listen, and these kids, apparently, these people have been telling me, my kids have been on my TikTok. I don't even know what's on there. I got to go check this TikTok. They talking about your kids are having a roast on TikTok. They talking about people brushing teeth. I don't know what's happening. These kids, I'm like, Lord, today. But, I am like, when I got pregnant with Zoe, so I retired in 2008, right? I was like, okay, I'm done. I had knee surgery. I was like, I'm done. Because again, I was like, I'm not gonna be out here just limping around. This is terrible. I didn't have a contract anymore. I was like, I'm good. Then I started working at Harvard Westlake and coaching. Then I got pregnant, and I was good. I was coaching. I was happy. I had my baby. Everything was cool. And then stinking Allison Felix. Enter Allison Felix. Zoe was really young, and I was coaching cross country at Harvard Westlake Middle School, and I would run with the athletes a little bit. It was hard. And Allison was like, well, why don't you come back? And I was like, why don't you not say that? And, she kept poking at me. You should know, Joe, really, you should come out with us. We miss you. Come out. So I was like, fine. I came out, and I started running. And it was crazy because I was out there running, and I breastfed Zoe for 15 months and I was like, running, I would go breastfeed because solely no bottle, she wouldn't take a bottle. I was just feeding her. So I would feed her in between reps after practice. I'm over there nursing her. Sean, everybody's out there. I'm like hiding, feeding my baby, right? But it was fun because like I didn't have a job. I mean, I had a job. I didn't have a contract. So I would take Zoe with me everywhere to track practice, to the track, to coach. It was just nonstop me and Zoe. And so I ended up running decent. I ran like 1272 or something at Mount Sac, and I was hyped, but then I got hurt. And the thing was, I believe that had I had a contract, right, and not had to work and all that, I believe I would have done really well and made the team. At least, yeah, probably. I can't say for sure, but I think I could have made the team having that. But I'll tell you guys something. And this was the moment when I knew that I had done all I could do, and I was in track was, it was raining. And the semifinal, they kept delaying it. I warm up again, sit down. I was getting older, and I got in the blocks, and I didn't make the final. And I was like, thank God I didn't make it. I did not want to run again. I was like, my body, I didn't want to do it. My mind, I was like, I was happy. And so then I knew I was done. And so for me, I feel like, go close that door. I was lucky or blessed because go close the door.
They keep talking about him.
There's Zoe again. It's still right here by my side. But I feel really blessed that I had the opportunity to retire saying, I'm happy that I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. And I had my baby, and I had the things I knew I had, job, and I could move on with that. And then I was doing an interview, and it was interesting because I was crying. I was, all that, you get those emotions, and I didn't make the final, blah, blah, blah. And I was just saying how I thought I could have done better if that or that. And then we were talking about, but my experiences with these kids, the high school was such a big deal. And then it was so cool because the fact that I didn't make the final gave me I had the longest media interview because nobody else was in there, because it was just me. Everybody else was gone. Like, they're not going to interview you. They're not interviewing none of the other semifinalists, whatever. Nobody to make the final. It was just me in there in the mix zone with all the reporters. So I felt like I had my little farewell thing, and the attention was all to me, and I didn't have to share it with anyone because they were getting ready for the final.
Okay. Way to find the silver lining there.
You gotta find the silver lining. But it was, and that was a good day because then I knew I was done.
Yeah.
And I knew I was, at least, and I knew in my heart that having a child wasn't the end all be all. Had I had the opportunity, if I really, really wanted it and trained it and had the contract, I could have done that. Mm-hmm. And so I think that motivated. That was something that Allison used to say, like, I got to see you do that. Go run and have your baby and stuff. So for me to be able to let people see that I was doing that and it was possible was great. I mean, people had done it before. Like Valerie Briscoe-Hooks had a son. She won the Olympics. Like, I think Merlene Ottey, same thing, right? So a lot of it had been done, but it was so long ago. Yeah. So we didn't get to see it because it wasn't social media, right? So these kids didn't get to see it. Now they get to see you guys doing it. And that's why it's such a big deal, because it's publicized. Yeah. And that's why nobody can deny you guys. Nobody can deny the contracts. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can tell you, well, you had a baby, we're not going to pay you. And back then, in my contract, there's no way I could have had a contract and a baby. I would have lost it all, So I think this has been a great thing that is happening with the moms and with, I know you guys saw them braids, right? Mm-hmm. With moms in sports, and just showing young girls that they don't have to choose, that they can do both. And so I'm loving what I'm seeing. I love that I was part of it in my own way. And then I can actually talk about it, but knowing that I was strong, like having a baby doesn't take that away. A lot of times it makes you stronger. And so I think what's happening right now with sport, with moms, with everyone, with people, just even with you, Kori, with you talking about your new situation, like I feel like that's what people need, to have these personal stories outside of track. Again, track's the thing that we do. Basketball. I
don't know why I thought you were like, even with you, Kori, I raised you too, and I was like, right?
No, ma'am, no. You're over there raising your son. You're doing a great job with them.
Thank you.
I know
oh my God,
you,
Kori, not you with the shenanigans.
The person that sends Christmas cards with her and her dog.
Look at people be waiting. People in November be waiting for the Christmas card to come out from the Carters.
Okay, I don't know who those people are, but I will say yes. But no, I think it is, for me, what makes it more personal because, again, we said track is just a sport, basketball is a sport, football is a sport, all soccer, it's all just sports. When there's a personal element, we can connect to people, because every kid is not going to the Olympics. Every kid is not going to be a world champion. They're not doing these things. So how can they connect to you if they're not ever going to do what you did? So that's when you have to be personal with them and show some of your life to say, hey, don't worry if it doesn't work out this way. Make sure you know who you are in this process. So in the process of either winning the Olympics or not making the Olympics, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And you're okay with it either way. And so that's what I say. I just want the personal element to this.
I don't want to end this, but we have to.
Yes, I know. But it's fun. It's been
Them
fun.
2 kids is like, Mom, come on.
Let me tell you what you're not about to be doing. Track Girl Summer.
We unlock this door.
It's not about to be track girl night. Like, my kids don't play, and you know they don't play. Like, where you at? Listen, where you at? What's that song?
What you doing?
Yeah,
Where you at?
Are
you got plans? Don't
say that, right? Like, my kids won't let me do, and I tried to do a TikTok with them, and they was like, no. See, they won't even do TikToks with me. I'm like, this is a perfect TikTok for us because you guys always want to know where I'm at. But you know what? It is that's the beauty of life, you know.
But that's great because some kids could care less. But your kids are like, look, my mom's messaging.
Where are those kids? Because
Excuse me.
Don't say that, because if it was any other way, you would be hot.
You're right. I was like, you don't want to know, you don't want mommy, you don't want to see mommy. I've been home in 5 days. You don't miss me? No, yeah, they yes. Like you said, the whole Monaco thing, that was crazy. Natasha, it was like traveling with them was insane.
I'm just thinking
fun.
A plane.
They do good on the plane. They had little iPads and they had their headphones, and the planes were fine. It was just like, you know, you go to Europe, you get up in the morning, you go grab something to eat, you come back. I can't just leave the room. They sleep. I'm like, in the hotel in Monaco, like some hotels I could. Hotel in Monaco was so far. The room was so far from the dining room. Like, I was like, this is like 10 minutes. So I was hungry, but you know, but those are things that are, again, the personal things I got to do while coaching, traveling. I thought that was a huge bonus for me. For my kids, how many kids can say they've been swimming in the rooftop in Monaco?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Right. Stop talking. You know, how many kids say they've seen the Eiffel Tower? They've been to Marseille. Where's that? I don't even know where Marseille is. Right. Like, it's
exactly
to Doha. Right. And so
when these little boys try to come around and say, like, ooh, let's go to Miami, they're gonna be like, sir, I have been in Monaco at 6. Please
miss me with that. You have no idea. Right. You don't know who I am. Let me show you my stamps and my passport. But, you know, so again, those are the perks that I've gotten as a coach that I've been able to do with my family. So I think I've just been very blessed to have, at this age, the career I've had with coaching, because I've had some great athletes. I've been able to coach all different kind of athletes, and I'm just enjoying it. And then whether you are a world champion athlete or a Pac-12 champion athlete or just a dual meet champion, I feel like everybody has their place in the sport. And I think whatever their motivation is, whatever their goal is, I want to help them get there. And if I can help them be better people along the way, then I feel like I did a great job.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for coming on Track All Summer. We needed this.
Pleasure.
Like, my spirit, my heart needed this. And thank you guys for joining us. Whenever you're watching this is another one of our pre-recorded shows. Be sure to follow me, Natasha, at Natasha Hastings, at the Kori Monster, and follow Joanna at Joanna D Hayes. D's for Dove. And, you know, and follow her kids on this TikTok, Trillas. They have the dances and the shenanigans. Allie and Zoe, when are you gonna get their YouTube channel together? That's the real tea.
We talked about this, and it's a lot of work, so
we know.
And I know you guys know.
And make sure to follow Track Girl Summer and all the things. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video to someone who needs it, if they, you know, because I feel like Joe can bless anyone, clearly. And, you know, get yourself some merch on trackgirlsummer.com.
Yeah, and share it. I'm gonna rock it.
Oh yeah. It's going to be in the mail very soon. And remember, no matter what time of the year it is, it's always a track all summer, baby.
Bye.
Bye.